Hello, how is everyone doing? I am really excited to be here. Hey, Doug, how are you doing?
Pretty good. How's everything, Shy?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there. I'm doing all right. I've had better weeks. I've had worse weeks. Still alive, partially vaccinated. New York just kicked off. I feel like every stream, all I ever want to talk about is like New York's like COVID progress, and so let me go on my COVID tangent, and then we don't have to talk about it anymore. But New York opened up
No, all good, all good.
vaccinations to everyone today, and so like it's such delightful news. So I'm so excited by that. How are you doing, Doug? You're lagging out a little bit there. Oh, there we go.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, no, we should be good though.
We spent a half hour before to make sure your internet was great, and then the moment we go live, something happens.
I know.
All
Like,
right,
what are the odds, right?
one and two.
One,
'Cause
literally one and two.
it'll either
Yeah.
happen or not happen. That's how probability works, I think. So
I don't know why I didn't think about that. But yeah, no, COVID in New York. Yeah, let me tell you, I'm happy to be vaccinated. I think it's winding down finally.
yeah,
So,
yeah, because you
glad
got
to hear
the Jersey stuff, right?
Yep, New Jersey is pretty much like the same as New York. Where I think
Yeah.
like vaccination wise, everyone's pretty much getting it now. You actually reach out and everyone actually got it.
Hopefully, if we do a stream together in a quarter, we can maybe do it from the same apartment or something. So that'd be something to look forward to.
In the summer, yeah, we'll do a summertime live stream from
Yeah,
live
do
from
it in
Shy's
the
apartment.
park. Or do it in the
Oh
park.
yeah, heck yeah.
Get like a nice 1,000-foot Ethernet cable. Hey, Exegete, how you doing? All right, so Doug, we have a pretty
Yes,
cool stream topic today. I'm really excited for this, and I just realized you can see my sidebar. That's okay. You
that's
can
all
all see
good.
how many outstanding Jira notifications I have to read. We're going to be talking about coding with your voice today, which is going to be really exciting.
Yes,
Doug, you hurt your hands a while back, if I'm
yes.
remembering correctly, and so you're young, functional, smart software engineer, and I feel like you've got this really great story of like how you still continue to do software engineering despite the fact that you didn't have functional hands for a period of time. And so I'm really excited to hear how you made coding work and show me some of the software and stuff like that, which is going to be really cool. Exegete is saying outstanding Jira notes. Yeah, something like that. So let's jump into the Contentful slides for a really quick sec, and then we can open up our fancy giveaway as well, and then we can start doing some voice coding. That sound good?
Yeah, sounds great.
All right. Oh, it looks like we've got someone from Ecuador. Hey, Slashwalk, how you doing? Cool. So, as always, every stream that we do at Contentful, really anything we do is at Contentful abides by the Contentful Code of Conduct. And so, the TLDR is that harassment and abuse are never tolerated. And if someone is doing something to make you feel uncomfortable, please do reach out to us and let us know. We'll do our best to address it. You can find our full Code of Conduct on the Contentful documentation at that link, and also our list of moderators. So you can reach out to anyone on our moderator list as well. Hey, Luce, how you doing? We've also got the Contentful Developer Portal, which is the best place to go to get started with Contentful, to learn about all our upcoming streams, to see our latest tutorials, and just keep up with us and the team. We've got some really cool stuff coming in the next couple of weeks, and I'm really excited about it. If you have questions for us that are outside of the hours that we live stream, you can always ping us on the contentful.com Slack. We're happy to chat together. And if you're looking to learn GraphQL, React, or Contentful, we've got a really great GraphQL course, and we'll also hook you up with some swag if you build anything using the Contentful GraphQL API. I think that's everything. And Doug, I'm going to yield the floor to you. This was very Robert's rules of ordering right now, but the floor is yours.
Awesome. Yes. Yeah, I'll keep it brief. So feel free to follow me on Twitter. I'm _ Doug Rudolph. I post kind of infrequently, but every now and then I'll post something graphicsy and or voice coding related. Currently, I'm a software engineer at Interseller.io. It's a small startup in New York City. There's 12 of us, and we're actually hiring.
13. I thought you were 13.
We just hit 13 today.
Yeah.
I think actually, like this morning, it's officially 13. You're right.
I was going to say, I know too much about your. So for context for folks watching, Doug's co-founder is my best friend, so I know a lot about Doug's job and their company. So.
Arguably knows more than I do.
There are a couple things I do know more than you about.
I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure. Yeah, you get the inside scoop from the top. Let me see. Yeah, so we're actually hiring. So if you're looking for a remote job, we are a very remote friendly company looking for full stack engineers. So if that's your thing, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter, or honestly, if you find me on Facebook anywhere, feel free to reach out. And then also me and Shai, I want to quickly plug this. Me and Shai were a part of this fellowship in New York called Hack and Why. And
it's
so
a really
if you're
excellent fellowship. Yeah.
Yeah. It runs every summer, and we house you in New York City. We get you an internship. And I believe we're still looking for fellows.
Yeah, so it's a fellowship program for college students. I did it after I graduated in the summer after my senior year. So you had to be enrolled in a university and eligible to work in the United States during your application period is the rule. So
yeah, and I also did it after my senior year of college. So you're even eligible the year after you graduate.
You just have to be in school when you apply is the rule.
Yes. Yeah. You can, I think even some people have taken 1 or 2 credits and applied. So if you happen to be enrolled,
really? I didn't know that. Amelia, actually, one of for folks who've been following the Contentful live streams for a long time and remember Amelia, who's now on our technical training team. And she also did that too, which is really exciting as well. So
yeah, it's literally a summer of a lifetime. So if that's your thing, feel free to apply and just look at the website. Definitely recommend it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's a lot of fun. And for folks that are looking to hire interns as well, it's also a really great way to get really awesome technical talent as well. And the interns that you hire have a nice network around you. I'm kind of bummed that even though Contentful is a startup, we don't really have an internship program, because otherwise I would definitely be asking to get some Hack and Why fellows, because they're a lot of fun. Awesome. So I think that's everything we have to plug. Should we get into the meat and potatoes of what we're doing today?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, actually, one last thing before we do that. People would be mad at me if I didn't do this. As always, we have this amazing giveaway bot that White Panther put together. Salma, who is officially becoming my favorite member of the Contentful DevRel team. Please don't tell her, because it'll go to her head. Has built this amazing giveaway bot for us, and it's we're going to be giving away some swag. So let me go ahead and start the giveaway. So the way it works is if you hit !win in the chat, in the Twitch chat, you'll be entered into a live stream or into a raffle as well, and you can win some swag, so t-shirts, stocks, and stickers. And let me hit the announce button. So cool. All right, that's it for me. I'm going to take my screen off, and Doug, you ready to do this?
Yeah, I'm ready to do it. Let's go.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and share your screen. So, Doug, I feel like the first place to get started is tell me what happened with your wrist. What was going on? How old were you at the time? Do you know what set everything on?
Yeah, no, that's a really good starting point. Yeah, so honestly, I was pretty much like everyone else. I coded for work. I did some side projects, and what. The pain that I got started during the beginning of quarantine.
Yeah.
So, I think I just had more free time to actually pursue side projects and maybe play around.
I don't know about free time so much as it was the only thing available to do.
Yeah, that's a much better way to put it. It was literally the only thing I could do without getting, in trouble. So, yeah, so I just spent more time going on my computer. And I think what ended up happening was I had all this extra money since I wasn't going into work, and I could put that commute money to something else. So I got a new keyboard.
Yeah, you went hardcore down the ergonomic keyboard train. I remember that too.
Yeah, it's really funny. I got these keyboards that actually were meant to be better for my posture, or sorry, not better for posture, better for my hands, and just healthier for me in general. And it actually ended up hurting me, which led me down this whole rabbit hole of learning what ergonomics actually means in the United States. And yeah, I got the Kinesis Advantage 2, which for anyone who's never seen that keyboard,
it's a good keyboard.
Advantage.
It's a standard diagonal keyboard that pulls apart, right? Or is it? Yeah, it's not ortholinear. Oh, it is ortholinear.
Yeah, I honestly don't know the exactly what type of keyboard, but yeah, it's I think ortholinear, meaning the keys are in a line vertically. Yep. Yeah, and it's designed to, and it works really well if you have big hands, which I feel I do. I have medium, big size hands, and I actually really recommend the keyboard. But the way I was using it with my posture and the standing desk that I got was actually ended up being too high and stuff. And inevitably, I just got hand issues. I got RSI, which is just a big
repetitive strain injury, right?
Yes, repetitive strain or stress injury. And so what ended up happening was I just was typing too much. I went to the doctor, and they told me that they just said stop typing. And I was like, I can't really do that with my day job. And so I took actually like 3 months off to try and like just put all my time and energy into fixing my hands and seeing what I could do. And inevitably what kind of happened was my hands started to feel better. I was able to type, but doctors still like encouraged me to not type as long as I could. And so I found this software called Talon, which is like this voice coding software. And there ended up being this whole rabbit hole of like developers using this full time. And I was actually surprised to see that the software was so good that I was actually able to completely transition from typing all day to using this as a full-time piece of software that drives my day-to-day.
Yeah, I remember, were there, out of curiosity, because I've seen a couple of the talks that you sent over before we started, or about like some of the folks who use the software, and it's really cool, but were there any other things that you tried or before you like settled on Talon?
I did try to, I'll bring up this one keyboard. There's a bunch of these like weird keyboards, and I honestly can't remember off the top of my head. It was this like, I'll try my best to find it in one Google search. It was like a color coded, just like a color coded keyboard. And then I want to say it was like, it had these like bevels on them. I don't know if this is even going to bring it up, but
these are interesting looking.
These
feels like the GameCube keyboard thing. It's what the aesthetic reminds me of.
It does. Yeah, these actually do exactly remind me of that that keyboard. It wasn't this though. It was these. I can't remember off the top of my head. Basically, I just looked up like ergonomic keyboards and tried to find ones that were even more ergonomic. And if you go down this Google search, there's a bunch of options. And to be honest, like none of them really felt like the thing that they told me was I had to look for keyboards that didn't use my fingers, which is like, what? How does
that even work? Yeah.
And so this wasn't really, worth looking into. I then found steganography, which I was talking to you a little bit about, and they make keyboards for like, this is what a steganographer keyboard looks like on the right here. And, it tends to be more like, people relate, or the analogy that everyone uses is that it's more like typing on a piano, where you type chords and the chords produce like chunks of words or letters. And this was an option because there's some really good keyboards that help with RSI. It's less stressful on an individual finger, but
so I'm looking at this, and like the first thing that immediately comes to mind is like, how do you do punctuation on something like that? Because like these are for court recordings, right? And like so much of programming is punctuation, right? Like you need to do an arrow function, you need a semicolon, like brackets and parentheses. Like you just can't do that on these things.
Yeah, I'm gonna plug this software that actually helps with that. It's called Plover. Let me look up Steno afterwards. And so Plover is this like open source project that helps with that exact issue, where basically you can get like a Steno keyboard and you can build your own dictionary on top of the software. So like for a lot of people say they'll like just for context, the way these keyboards work is you kind of type in acronyms, or not acronyms, but like what's the word I'm looking for? Like in syllables. So you type like the sound of the word to get the actual.
So like for like X let I equal, it would be like I don't even know how you would do that. Like I don't know if you've had a chance to actually like mess around and use these things, but
I don't know the exact button presses to get it out there. But my understanding is if you can actually type the word, like for example, you have like LET here, you would actually
do that.
Type that. But for something like, some random really big
single
word,
character variable name, right? Like,
oh, for single character variable names, I think you type the letter twice. Like, so if you wanted like I, you would do like I, and it would spit it out there.
But there's no I key. So.
There's no I key. So you have to, I think I is, the way you pronounce it is EU. So you would do EU and it would put the letter I.
Weird. That's so weird.
It's really weird. But people have basically you would make your own acronyms, or I guess like commands, for lack of a better phrase, to do brackets and arrows and all this weird stuff.
I mean, but at the end of the day, this is still not. It still didn't make your doctors happy, right? Because like you're still using your hands here.
Exactly. Yeah. I think, after about a year now, this is definitely an option, but but
Yeah.
initially that was not a viable option.
Yeah, there's a fun conversation happening in our comments right now. Luce and Stefan are talking about pizza, and now it's making me want to order a pizza. So, but yeah,
I
let's
think
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe we can get some Joe's Pizza delivered
Yeah,
while we're
let's
on
do it.
stream.
Hit Williamsburg Pizza later on tonight.
Yeah, I'll see it for sure. We're both back, so we can take it.
So yeah, tell me about Talon. Like what made Talon the thing for you? And then maybe we can open it up and like actually use it for a little bit.
For sure, yeah. So the big thing with Talon, from what I could see, was there was like a large community actually driving forward the development. So seeing so much work already done, it felt like I could just jump in and maybe hack around if needed, but for the most part, just use it. Second thing was I looked this up a long time ago, and one of the big problems was the voice engine. So there's Dragon is the big voice engine out there that most people use for voice to text dictation, but Talon has made their own, and it's arguably on par, if not better, than Dragon, and it's way cheaper. So those two alone were big problems that were already solved. But the final thing is you can just drop it in and use it for any software. So I don't have to use a special coding software with Talon. I can use it with Visual Studio. I can open Slack. I can navigate Chrome. There's essentially the sky's the limit really with Talon. You can hack it to whatever you need. So those three things I think actually are what made it usable day to day.
That's really interesting. All right, why don't we do that? Why don't we pull up Visual Studio? Probably not Slack. That probably would be the wrong thing to pull up for a programming stream. But why don't we pull up Visual Studio Code and start messing around with it? So show me some of the cool stuff that we can get done here.
Yeah, for sure. Let me open up a new window here. Seems there's literally
you're showing us some corporate source code there.
Some corporate source code. Oh no. Yeah, literally. All good. Just a button I was working on for work. Nothing too special. I'll just make I'll keep it as a text file for right now.
I was going to say, we were talking a little bit about messing with because Interstellar is running their blog off of Jekyll and Contentful, if I'm remembering it correctly. I don't think you've changed that since. But
we've not changed that.
But yeah, when we do some demo, you're doing it as a text file here. So one of the things you were telling me is that Talon is intelligent and it knows what languages you're using, or is that true?
Yes, that is true. Let me actually just quickly reference that so that people have a high level understanding of what's going on.
Yeah,
so
let's do it.
For reference, Talon is this open source software, and the website's old, but there are some really helpful guides online.
I mean, they're spending time making the voice software, not the website.
Exactly. Yeah. This Emily, I believe Shea is how you pronounce the last name. She made this amazing intro guide on how to get into Talon, and she probably has the best talks out there on how to learn about it. So if this is something you want to learn, we can drop this link in the chat or after the talk.
I'll toss it in the comments. Let me go find it. And
yeah, let me do I send it to you? If you just look up Wellquench Club,
I got
this will make sense, I promise. Cool. And so basically there's a community driven add-on to this software that allows Talon to become context aware of all the applications you're running it in. So for example, someone created an add-on so that it knew when you're in Visual Studio Code, it could try to detect what language and exactly what you're trying to edit or grab and do. So
is that a Visual Studio Code plugin, or is it just a thing that
essentially it's just special commands for Visual Studio Code.
Cool.
And it's not a plugin though. It's actually built into Talon. So there's Python files that people have essentially hacked together to see what app you have open. So I feel like I've rambled a lot.
No, this is really interesting. I feel like there's a lot of context here around what goes into this software, but we're getting some really interesting questions from the comment. Huge butt _95 is asking specifically, how good is it? And so I think it might be a good chance for a demo here.
Yeah, let's do it. So okay, I'll start with some basics. So the first thing with Talon is it's pretty good, mind you. I just updated to the nightly build today, so understand there may be some demo quirks, but for the most part, in a live like if you're using this live, it's pretty good. So to start, like there's a whole alphabet that you have to come to try and understand. And that's really how you start to like get your grounding with everything. So you'll notice like this is the alphabet that they've made for Talon.
So this is similar to like phonetic alphabet, like the US military might do something like that. So, but it even says specifically why not use the NATO alphabet.
Exactly. The reason is because you want to be able to just say letters very quickly, especially if you're a programmer. Whereas like, if I had to say November every time I wanted to write the letter N, it would get annoying. So they made this, they made this one syllable word-based alphabet. So I can like, we'll just demo a few of these. So ready? Like I'll rattle off the alphabet a little bit. So it's like air, bat, cat. Oh, sorry.
What password?
Air, bat, cat, drum, each, fine. Gust, look.
Nice.
Zip, plex, whale, quench. And I've been like name a few letters there, but you can see it's very responsive. Like in fact, like you can actually, if you're a programmer, you can kind of quickly imagine if you had Vim along with this alphabet, like you can actually be very snappy with moving the cursor around with just like a few letters.
Quick question for you, behind the curtain here. I see that you have, it looks like you were pressing a button on your microphone right there. So like for folks watching that are, because I know when we were playing with this beforehand, you were saying Talon start and Talon stop. What's your setup that you're doing for this stream right now? Just so folks behind the curtain can kind of see it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So right here in the top of my my computer, this is actually the Talon software. You'll notice that it's green. And right now the microphone I'm using has like a physical mute button. So I'm using this microphone right now to actually speak to Talon, and I have AirPods in to speak to the. And
you're using your really nice microphone for Talon rather than for the stream, and that I imagine makes a big difference.
Yeah, actually, what's crazy is the latest build of Talon on the brand new MacBook, like that A1 processor MacBook or M1, I forget exactly the chip, but they say that built-in mic on the Mac is pretty good. It's like good enough to use Talon without a special mic, but obviously, like if you have an older Mac or you don't have a Mac,
I imagine it's one of those things where like it just like it's like buying a better keyboard, right? Except the microphone is your better keyboard, so like it makes a margin of difference here. We've got a couple questions from the chat, and one of the questions was, does it make you mad when you use it?
It depends on the day. If I'm kind of tired, there will be moments where I'm just trying to like get something done quickly, and in those like moments where I'm rushing around, it can be irritating, but I'm only about like 5 or 6 months into this. People have built like you can add macros. So for example, like if you find yourself writing boilerplate code, let's say you build React, you write like React code, and you have to like write a functional component.
I know you have a bunch of those that you were showing me. Like maybe you could give us a quick demo of like some of the stuff that you have set up.
I cleared out all that stuff so that we can like explore it on stream together. I'm sorry. But I can show an example that someone has made online very quickly. If you like here, there's a Talon, I think it was like just Talon voice. Let me just look up Talon voice. I think there's just a blog post. It comes up pretty quickly.
There's a lot of really interesting resources out there.
Yeah. This is a great blog post. So I'm just going to mute him. But what he's doing here is he just quickly said to explain what happened. So he wrote this line right here, const wrapper styled button. And all he said was he made a command called styled. And so he said styled button wrapper. And you'll notice that it wrote this skeleton for him and put his cursor on the new line. And so you can, I can make my own styled command and then, add buttons and divs and paragraph tags, and it'll essentially work like out of the box. You don't have to do anything to train the model to understand your text. It'll just map it onto your commands.
That's awesome. How long would that take to set up? I'd love to actually see that in action, or like some of the like any of those like kind of more programmer centric like ways of using it.
Yeah, we can do it later. It's actually pretty simple. You just create a .talon file in your home directory, and you just list your commands, and it'll come to understand them all as you go. But yeah, we'll try it on stream. I'll be honest, I haven't done it since.
I mean, maybe we could just take a look at your one, and then just like reuse your like normal one that you're used to and that you've already got configured.
So That is on my, I'm sorry, Shai, that is on my personal machine, but I can show you where to get it. So like if I just type in Talon voice.
Oh, you're using a different computer here? That makes sense.
Yes. Yeah. Just for the sake of a bigger screen.
You got to put it in your dot files, man. Commit that up to GitHub.
I know I should really do that.
What are you going to do if your machine fails on you?
That's, this is my work machine. If this fails, I'm screwed. Custom Talon voice commands. Sorry.
Yeah. Another good question we got was, how do you navigate the cursor? So I think maybe if we have like a block of text, you can maybe show, going up and down and like, jumping into the middle of it, stuff like that. If that's a thing that you can do without the configuration.
Yeah, sure. Let me just write I'll write like a function in JavaScript.
No, use your voice. Use your voice.
Oh, you'll use my voice? Okay.
Use the voice.
Okay, we should make it a mission to use everything by voice here. You're right. So I'll write like a return.
It's cheating if you use your hands. I know that they're better, but it's cheating.
Fair enough. I'm about to try to prove you wrong there.
Stefan is specifically saying no typing with an exclamation mark. So he's serious.
Understandable. So yeah, I'll try my best to explain and demo at the same time. Here we go. So I'll just write like a return statement here just to get the sense out. So phrase return, space, string test, go right, delete, semi, escape, file save. So you can see that.
Can you make this JavaScript so we get the syntax highlighting too?
Sure,
in the bottom right? You could do it. Yes. You don't have to read. You could just.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. Wow. JavaScript. There you go.
And just bump up the font like 1 or 2 as well.
There you go. No problem.
Stefan is saying so it recognizes words. So I think something really cool there that you did was you said the word string and it put it in quotations, which was really cool there.
Yes. There's a lot of keywords in Talon that let me do that. Actually, I can rattle off a few of them here. Just
do it. Like go wild. I want to see every. I really liked when you were showing me how you did different cases and stuff like that. So, but go wild.
Yeah, for sure. So, I'll explain each one as I go. So the first one. So there's like keywords that let you specify spacing and formatting as you type. So the first one is like if let's say we're doing Python, you want to do snake case, you just say snake. So an example would be like snake. This is a variable. Command delete, phrase snake, option delete, snake, this is a variable. So sorry, I wasn't in insert mode, but I was just making sure it was listening to me.
No worries. I know that the double microphone setup makes this a little harder than it must normally be.
Yeah, it's a little weird, but all good. I'm adapting. So this is very obvious. I just say snake, and it's smart enough to know to add the underscores. Another one. What happens if you
want to do a snake cased variable that has the word snake in it?
I believe so. There is a way to opt out of it. I forget the keyword honestly offhand.
No,
I never really
that's too meta. We don't need to do that.
No, you're right. But I mean, actually, just to answer the question, there is a keyword. I think it's opt, where it will opt out of the command you are currently using. So it knows to so you can string together commands. To be honest, I don't find myself needing to do that often.
Yeah, that's fair. Your mascot is a bear, not a snake, so that makes total sense.
Perfect sense, right? So another one's kebab, which is very CSS-y. So I'll just demonstrate. Kebab, this is a variable, and so you can see that did the minus sign, and this is if you're doing CSS or more vanilla JavaScript, you'll use that one all the time. Another one is title. So if I say title, this is a variable. So title just makes the first letter uppercase, and only proper nouns uppercase. Everything else is and the and of stay lowercase. Yeah,
the format that our marketing communications team hates that I do the capitalization unnecessarily. I do this far too often. So.
Yeah, one thing I have noticed, funny enough, is that because I'm using this to talk to people or just type on Messenger or any other group chat, my spelling has gotten way better. I don't mess up. It's really fun.
I've started using the phone dictate as well for the same reason, because it's so much cleaner and better formatted.
Yeah.
I had a friend who she would constantly complain about the usage of the word your in my text messages, and so the voice chatting took that problem away from me.
Yeah, I've felt that same thing. Yeah, I'll rattle off one or two more of these too. So another one, this is one that you can like so you can combine commands together. So for example, there's a command called smash that will get rid of the spacing in between words. So if I say like phrase smash, this is a variable. Oh. Title smash, this is a variable.
Nice.
So, yep, and that's like another one.
There. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, it's trying to autocorrect me here.
Yeah. Question from Stefan. He wants to see you delete a line or change a file.
Understandable. So there are Visual Studio commands that will let me navigate. I don't have another file, but we'll get to that in a sec. To delete a line,
make a new file.
Yes, we can. So I use a lot of Vim on top of my Visual Studio Code setup. So my way is kind of cheating, but I'll go through both.
I mean, it sounds like Talon is really configurable. So like the intention here is that you could set it up however you want. So I don't think that is cheating, is it? Would Emily tell us we're cheating if Emily was watching?
She would be. I think she'd be happy. She uses Vim too. I think that is the inevitable progression. You tend to just go to Vim commands as if you are familiar with them. So here I'm going to do some like actual editing and not just like writing. Okay. Escape. Go up second. Drum. File save. Vest each. Drum. Shipset. Phrase hello shy. Space. Phrase hello contentful stream. Space. Slap. Go up. Delete. Escape file save. :1 enter. Odd. Phrase let. Space. Option delete. State let this is a variable. Option delete third. Delete. Camel is a variable. Space. Equal space. String hello contentful stream. Escape go down. Go up. Go left. Drum sit quote. Sit. Phrase hello contentful stream. Escape go down. Go left second. Go down second. Go left second. Drum sit quote. Sit. Go right delete second. Camel this is enter. Escape file save. So that was more an example of like,
Okay, so that was pretty cool there. And the people in the comments are really impressed by this. So I can we break that down, what you did there? So I was recognizing a couple of those Vim commands. So I saw you said drum, which I'm guessing is DD, which would be line delete.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And then you were doing things like sit, which I'm imagining just puts the switches from Vim navigate mode to insertion, and then that was really cool too. And then you were doing the string thing, which would quotationify it. You were doing what was it? Delete second, which I'm guessing is again D2 from Vim shortcuts.
Yeah, funny enough, the second is built into Talon.
Really?
But it acts. It does kind of what you're describing, where it repeats a command that many times.
Yeah. And then you were doing like file save, and you were doing like the this is and then enter, and taking care of like the Visual Studio autocomplete was really cool. I thought that was really awesome. So
yeah, it can. So what's cool is it rests like if you were to like think about like where Talon runs on your machine, it's not like an add-on to anything. It's just it sits as a separate keyboard essentially.
Okay. So then the Vim shortcuts make total sense there because it's just
exactly. It's just sitting there as a command on your keyboard.
Yeah.
And so what I was doing there's actually a command in Vim called DI, which stands for delete inside. And then if you press the quote, it'll delete inside the quotes. So I was using that one quite a bit. I was trying to show off there's another way to like write variables with camel case.
Yep. I saw that.
Yeah, I messed up a little bit. I forgot the I wouldn't be capitalized. But that's fine. And you'll notice, so because I made that error, I was like, I still want to return the variable. So I used the VS Code shortcuts to help me. Yeah,
No, I thought
exactly.
that was really cool that like you were able to just jump into them straight away, and like it felt very natural.
Yeah, it's pretty natural. And like honestly, the only thing that I find myself being annoyed by is like writing like space equals space here.
Mhm.
That getting that to work, I should just make a like a command for it. But I haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah.
But it honestly, without that one hiccup with space equals space, everything is actually
Yeah.
like very straightforward. Um, let me show you a few more stuff here because let me show you a
Yeah.
few more things.
Yeah.
There's some little things here too. So like there's more advanced features with Talon that make it useful for coding. And this is where it starts to kind of be like a, an easy drop-in tool. So
Yeah.
let me just ready here. Let me whip out a few commands. So
Go for it.
funky, this is a contentful stream. Oh, whoops.
It got you into Control F.
Delete, funky test. Phrase funky, state funky test. Oh, dang. Did they get rid of that? I'm sorry, I'm just realizing they might have gotten rid of a command. There is a command called funky where when you write it, it just writes a function for you. I'm sorry, I should have tested that before. I'm sorry.
This is what you get for switching to the nightly build.
I know, I messed up. Basically, it lets you write out a function just like right off the bat. But let me show you some other stuff too. So like,
try it one more time. Let's see what we can get. I think, or maybe we could Google it, see if it seems like a weird thing to delete.
I'm thinking I'm forgetting there's like a keyword I'm not saying, but let me show you.
Maybe this is a good chance for us to actually look at the Talon documentation. I don't know if you've seen our streams before, but I love looking at documentation. And so maybe we could just take a quick look at the documentation and see how it's supposed to work.
For sure. Let's jump into that, and then we'll go back to the programming specific commands. So let's see here. So if you go into like this voice control, where are we now? Documentation. It used to be on the top here. Let me just type in.
It's under the download for Windows. It's like the second thing after the changelog. Or
oops. You were. That would have been easier, but my bad. I should be actually. Let me do this.
This is definitely a Python documentation. This is how all the Python documentation looks.
Yeah, let me actually navigate this a little bit with Talon as well. So I should have mentioned before, Talon lets you navigate Chrome and all these other tools.
Let's do it.
Yes, let me just, I'll show off the commands and then come back to Chrome and we can browse. So tab new, phrase Google, go down, find, sun air, command delete, phrase contentful stream, enter. Page down, page up, tab prev, tab previous, tab last. There we go. Focus Visual Studio Code, focus code, focus Chrome, focus Chrome, focus Chrome. Rip. Screen left, screen last. Dang, I think I skipped it. Screen last. Oh, it's not going to do it. Sorry about that. It's supposed to do control left, control right. You can just say press control left, press control right. I tried to configure it so that it would do that for me. I got a little unlucky, but you can see that you can just say press this keyboard command and it will do it. But yeah, you can navigate pretty much anything with like the tabs, the screens, the page, and you can find links relatively easily with this.
I was impressed. So we got this really great question from Stefan again, which was, are you slower with your voice or can you get really fast? And to me, it felt like you were pretty damn fast there. Like
you can, navigating, I would argue you are just as fast. There's maybe every now and then it's hard to like navigate the page if it's really big, but I don't really find myself slow with my voice and navigating. When it comes to coding, I will say that I'm about half the speed I was from typing. Mainly just because unless you build a command for all your use cases, you'll find yourself probably like having trouble at first. But as you come to like recognize the stuff that Talon does work with well and doesn't work with, you can you can pretty much make up for it with commands. So
I
would say the more you
feel
use
like
it,
having like a nice hybrid would actually work really well, like a hybrid typing talking setup. I imagine probably just like, I'm really curious actually what the onboarding experience is like this. So Stefan and I have been talking a lot about transitioning to the Ergo docs, because I transitioned to the Ergo docs like like a year ago, I get, or like, I don't know how long, maybe 8-9 months ago, I switched over to the Ergo docs, and he just got one a few weeks ago. And so like I don't know if you've given up or not, Stefan, chime in the comments, but like he's been struggling because it's like it took me about 3 weeks to like relearn how to type. Like what do you feel like that experience is like here to like learn all those codes? Stefan says he's failing miserably.
No, I switched to the Kinesis. I know what it's like to like switch from typing versus switching to like a mic, obviously. And the experience isn't that bad. I would argue the hardest part is if I jump to this, like
remembering that alphabet.
It's remembering this alphabet. Once you know this, these are most of the commands.
I mean, maybe it's just like one of those things you print it and like just have a reference sheet in front of you for like the stuff that you're going to use frequently. Or
that's exactly what I did. And honestly, about after like a week of saying all the letters, especially with Vim, you know, you're forced to kind of like remember like what, I don't know, O and D are. And you just, if you use all the commands, you're going to want to keep using them. And you learn it faster, I would say, but even if you use Vim.
That's really interesting. So we got a question from Sissy 4LLS. That is the voice control encoding setup open source or something? And I think that's a great chance for us to just quickly plug what we're doing. We're using the Talon open source voice recognition system. Doug at one point hurt his hands, and so he had to figure out a way to write code using something besides those, and so he discovered Talon, and we're kind of just taking a tour of it today. So
yes. And
it's funny. Stefan is saying, sit is I, because the I is capitalized, and so it's hard to tell. But I was wondering, how do you say slit, SLT? Like, I don't know what to, but yeah, that's an unfortunate capitalization.
Yeah, it's weird. They couldn't find, I guess, a good word to represent I. It's funny. You think when you say sit, I'm telling Vim to like cooperate and go into insert mode. I thought the same thing. It's just funny that it happens to be insert on Vim. But yeah.
And so for that makes total sense there. I get it. I thought you were using sit as a command, but no, you're using it as insert. Oh, that's really cool. That's really smart. As well. I guess small plug for the folks that have just joined. We are doing a little raffle. You can win some awesome Contentful swag, socks, stickers, and a t-shirt just by typing !win into the comments as well. And you do have to be here at the end of the stream, but definitely take advantage of that if you want some awesome swag. So, all right, Doug, where were we?
Yes, we were going to browse the docs. Quickly showed off.
Because we were going to talk about Funky, right?
Yes, we were going to talk about Funky. So I'll be honest, documentation, if it depends if you're a fan of Python docs or not. I'm personally not the biggest fan.
I've seen worse documentation and I've seen better documentation.
It's very wordy. That's how I think of it. Like, it's more word driven than example driven, but that's fine. And yeah, honestly, let me just do like a quick high level overview. So this just kind of shows like that you can run on all the computers.
You can do video gaming with this? What?
Shai, don't worry, we will get there. You can do a lot of stuff. It's crazy. So this is, mind you, this has always just been in beta. I think this is one of those pieces of software, but it'll just always be in beta. There's always a new feature to add.
And like this is all open source too, which is crazy to me. Like
I don't.
Northcliffe wants to know if you play RuneScape with this.
Honestly, it's funny you asked that. I have played RuneScape with this.
I have a feeling that Northcliffe is someone from the Hack 'em Y Slack that like probably knows both of us. So is asking you as a targeted question.
Yeah, I'm sure that is definitely a leading question there. Yes, I've played RuneScape with this. It totally works. You can play a lot of point and click games in general with this if that's like your thing. You'll notice here, I do want to like make a quick note of this. There's something called a Toby eye tracker, which is a new addition to the whole voice coding thing here. They added eye tracking.
It's like a really fancy camera, right? The Toby.
Yes, it's essentially this like, let me just try to find a good, that is the company, but they don't show their demo on the homepage here.
There were some folks that back when Interstellar was in the Expo office, there were some folks that were doing a lot of virtual reality stuff, and so they had one of these eye trackers, and we messed around with it a little bit back when I was working for State Space for that brief period, and it's a really interesting little tool.
Yeah, and what's crazy is they don't use any of the proprietary software that comes with the Tobii eye tracker. The developer of Talon essentially just started looking at the driver code and building on top of it with whatever API was available, and I'm working on the Tobii 4C and the 5. So I have the 5, and it works on a pretty big monitor, but it's kind of hard to reconfigure on just to like my laptop screen here.
Totally.
But trust me when I say I'll show a demo, and it works great actually. It's very impressive.
Mouse control is what it is.
Yeah, and it's better than you
context.
think. Yeah. It's one of those things where you have to see it to kind of get how useful it is. Because you would think your eyes just go everywhere. It's going to be really annoying, but they have a really good system in place for clicking, and I'll definitely show that in a little bit. Let's see here. This is how you set up Talon in terms of like, installing it. You just add a .talon folder. You open it up, and you just clone the repo into that. This WAV to letter is the voice engine. This is how so you can either use the Dragon voice engine, which is a paid for software that kind of has been discontinued, or you can use their version, which is this new WAV to letter. And then the .talon files. This is actually how you make your own commands. So this is what I was looking for before. This is actually how you would tell it what to do. So you can say like, I want this command to run on Chrome only. I want and the comments explain it all, but basically like key wait increases the delay for how long you want the key input to wait for you while you say the command. And then you say like something like hello Chrome, and then it will write hello world inside of Chrome for you. And then there's all these like other minor issues minor settings that you can set as you write out your commands. It's pretty amazing. So you'll see that like when you say go to Google. Sorry, I didn't.
It does a key. It's like a macro basically. So exactly.
Control T, open Chrome, or type in Google, press enter, and it's all just scripted essentially.
That's really nifty. So I do a lot of this stuff with my Stream Deck where I'm like configuring macros, and then I have like one-click buttons for this. But it's cool that you can do it with your voice too.
Yeah, that's I think the most powerful part of Talon, when you can start to say like, let's say
honestly, it's what I think is the most powerful part of my Stream Deck is the macro stuff. I don't use it for streaming at all. It is exclusively like a macro keyboard for me at this point, and I love it. But
yeah, I honestly, my favorite part of Talon is I can just say like set up work environment, and it like opens Chrome, does all my like iTerm sessions that I need to start servers, opens Visual Studio exactly how I like it on the right desktop. It does
desktop placement too. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. Let me see here. And
honestly, I should make a macro for that on my Stream Deck. So that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, people have done Jarvis. Have you seen?
Yeah.
I think it's Iron Man. They go into. I don't know if will Disney sue us if I talk about Iron Man.
Probably not. I know they're actually Disney is selling some interesting voice recognition helmets where you like can tell the helmet to open and close. But they're like pretty expensive helmets, and you can wear them, which is kind of nifty. So,
well, we could maybe one stream we can make a helmet from scratch with Talon.
we just have to figure out a way to power it by Contentful, so then we can get our new CFO to let us buy an Iron Man helmet using like our budget. So.
I'll be in that email, I promise. I'll just jump in. Let me just finish the rest of this page here, and we can go look at other stuff. Basically, from this point forward, actually, I don't think I need to go too deep into this, but this is basically the Python code that you can also hack on top of. You can actually, if you really want to,
built in, like they've built in Python stuff because I'm assuming since it's built in Python, like it was probably one of the first things they built was Python shortcuts.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
you can, exactly what you're saying, you can write the same Talon files like this, but you can add it as a Python file and make it more of like an embedded part of your workflow. But these files actually work just as well. So, to each their own.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I mean, from this point forward, I believe everything is just going over the Python like app structure, and we don't need to go into that. That's okay. Too much for one stream, but yeah,
a lot of reading.
Yes. Let me look into the commands here. So this is, I was saying this before, for anyone who just joined the stream, this is like a really good blog. Her name's Emily Shea. She has this amazing blog basically on like how to get started. And you'll notice this is actually
she has a really like hardcore career too. Like studied architecture, mobile gaming. That's really cool. So
yeah, she's hardcore programmer. Like she's, everything she works on is, it's honestly like you should just look at her actual code in her GitHub later. Like completely, unbiased plug here. Let me see.
We're both fanboying out a little bit, I guess. So
yeah, I'll demonstrate this syntax in an editor too, but you'll notice like just to kind of talk about a few of them, like the way that they handle a lot of the syntax for programming, like question mark, you can just say question. This is either exclamation point, or you can just say bang.
Bang.
Yep. Dollar, down score, underscore. If you're in Python where you do like the double underscore thing, like that, you can say dunder. I'll actually, let me just try to do a quick demo. Dunder init, command delete, tab, dunder smash init. It didn't work. There's definitely a way to make it. I think it's like dunder. I don't know. Like I think constructor, and it will do it. Again, this is where like you add your own.
You should have just done like dunder mifflin.
Say words that aren't in the English alphabet. But that's just one Talon file away from being added into the dictionary.
Huge Butt wants to know what your experience is like doing this at coffee shops.
It's all very straightforward in terms of like what you'd imagine you would want as a programmer. And same thing with like more like language like features. You have like arrow, dub arrow, op, dub arrow. Op means operator. So like for example, if I say like op equal, that will actually put like two equal signs. Op not equal. And, you have these,
and that's really cool that you can do the or functions there as well,
operators without having to like say less than equal over and over again. Let me see here. So this is actually one thing. If you're actually looking to get into this, I'm sure some people might just be a little curious. There is a community repo, and this is probably the most important thing about Talon. This is where you can get all of the latest commands that work for a bunch of different specific programs. So what I mean is like people have built like a pre-bundled set of commands that work on the most common applications on your computer, like Chrome, Visual Studio Code, Sublime, all the things that you're probably really used to. And Doug, I would recommend going to Emily Shea's blog and just either giving it a read or looking at the GitHub itself to try and understand like if this is something that you're into. Are there any questions, Shai? I can jump back
can you still hear me? Out of curiosity, is my mic still working? Hello? Check. 1, 2. All right.
Hello?
Give me 1 sec. I don't know what's going on with my microphone.
There you are. Okay.
Oh, is it back?
Yeah, you're back. I can hear you.
I don't know what happened there. I was trying to say, I was trying to ask you a couple questions the whole time, but I guess if you could go back, no, it's totally fine. If you go back to those keyboards, Stefan can hear me, which is great.
Okay, good. I just talked over chat. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know it's totally fine. I wanted to comment actually at how interesting it is that you've got the or functions in here, so you can, if you don't like it makes it, I feel like, much more organic. I feel like if you're doing like the angle or like the is or op or like something like dub arrow, I would just put like arrow function and like configure it all. And I think this is really interesting. But Huge Butt is saying that you are deaf and that they've been able to hear me the whole time.
No, I'm stuck. I don't know why. I guess my internet jumped out for a sec.
So Huge Butt has some questions, and they want to know what is your experience like using Talon at coffee shops?
That is a really good question.
Yeah.
So the thing with Talon is that you do look a little stupid if you're in an office. You look a little dumb, I won't lie, but that's okay.
I mean, you work at a remote friendly company right now, so it's not a problem.
Exactly. Yeah. Working from home, obviously not a big deal. There is something.
How annoyed does your girlfriend get at you for
Well, oh man, it is not.
I mean, it helps that she's a programmer too, but
yes, she understands. But I definitely annoy people because like my microphone isn't the best at like removing sound from its input. Yeah. But there are ways to get around that actually. So to actually address that question, using something called a steno mask is the first option, which the thing is you look like, I don't know, like a World War II, you've
got like one on your mic. I see you've got the little cover in the front.
I have a coffee filter on my mic to help with that a little bit.
Wait, just a coffee filter? Is that a technical term or is that the thing that you use to make coffee?
I think it's a tech. I thought it was a thing, right? A mic. Is that what they're called? I thought like a mic filter. I guess it's just a. I heard people call it a coffee filter before.
I thought they were called like pop filters.
Oh no, I'm gonna get.
Pop filter. It says right there: a pop filter, pop shield, or pop screen. Coffee filter is a totally different thing, man.
You know, you'd be surprised what you see online.
Huge butt says, especially in front of your girlfriend, very annoyed, and that makes me feel like that actually might be your girlfriend right there. So
yeah, she probably joined the chat. Let me see here. So a steno mask. All right, real fast. Steno mask. She is in the other room laughing at me.
30-second delay, so I guess confirmation.
I refuse to let her take over chat. Yeah. So. For situations like this where someone's laughing at you while using your microphone, there's something called a steno mask to like help avoid the background sound. And this is like honestly not the greatest option. It just looks kind of crazy. So there is a microphone though that Emily Shea recommends. Let me see if I can find it here. I think it's just microphone. So these are the 4 mics she recommends. So you can use a Blue Yeti, which is like probably the like intro mic you would get. It's like $20.
Yeah.
There's these Audio Technica's Pro.
Can you click on that? Because I'm using an Audio Technica right now, and I'm hoping that is my. This looks nothing like my Audio Technica. My Audio Technica is like a stage microphone that has USB-C for some reason.
Yeah, honestly, the stage mics are fine. I'm using one as well too. I'm using like a G-Track Pro, and it honestly does. It's more than good enough to handle like day-to-day coding. The one that I think most people, if you're gonna get very serious, this is the one I think most people recommend.
That looks like a movie. Oh, and it's very expensive.
Very expensive. That's the thing is, you know, these mics are very expensive, but these are ones that like people would use on an actual stage, like if you're performing in front of people. And so they have to be really good at canceling out sound. And yeah, it's not cheap, but if you wanted to go out and you really wanted to work
it's like buying a new screen, right? Like it's like if you have like at some point, like you have to invest in your tooling, and like if this is the way that like you code, it's like you buy a new monitor or you buy like, I know there are people out there with like $1,000 monitor setups and stuff. So like,
yeah, it's kind of the same, you're buying a desk, you're buying a monitor, if you need a mic, you don't put $400 towards a keyboard. You put it into this. And I'll be honest, like I've seen people demo this mic with Talon. It's not needed, but I will say if you're around a lot of people all the time, using a mic like mine, it will get annoying. And so, yeah, using this will probably be your best bet. But yeah, we'll jump here. Let me jump back to this. Are there any other questions, Shai? I can jump back
no, I haven't seen any other questions. I guess as always for the folks in the comments, let us know if you've got questions. We are reading them and we are posting them. So let us know. We're coming up on the hour mark, and so I wanted to see if there were. What else do you want to talk about? Like I feel like this is really cool, and we've seen a really good demonstration of like kind of how it. So I feel like it just works is like the thing, and like it's really nifty and it's really cool. But at the end of the day, it just works, and it feels very organic and natural. So
yeah, that's the biggest thing is that you can use it in a workflow that works for you, and it's a good drop-in replacement. If you want, we can try to like, I don't know, maybe do like a FizzBuzz or something really small with this and like pair program through it just to demonstrate how like, you know, day to day what that actually looks like.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I don't know if I can. Well, yeah, let's do this. I'll try and code it with like by myself, and then I'll intentionally like leave mistakes or something that we can go back and fix that and edit things just to like show the editing and the writing.
Yeah.
So phrase function, command delete, phrase function, space, title smash FizzBuzz, option delete, camel FizzBuzz, title buzz, lparan, go right, go left, near, command right, space bracket, enter. Wait, I'm drawing a blank actually. It's what? If it's divisible by 3, it's fizz. Divisible by 5,
is buzz. If it's divisible by both, it's FizzBuzz. No, that seems wrong.
No, that's definitely it. That's definitely it. Yeah. So
hardest part about FizzBuzz is remembering how FizzBuzz works.
Yeah, literally. How does this work? So
yeah, it's 0 to 100, or sorry, 1 to 100. Prints the number. If it's 3, it's fizz. If it's divisible by 3, it's fizz. If it's divisible by 5, it's buzz. If it's divisible by both, it's FizzBuzz.
FizzBuzz. Cool. State if lparan, delete space lparan, delete lparan, near op equal, delete second space op equal, space, delete op equal, equal second, space, phrase 15, mod, delete, percent space 15, space, equal third, space 0, go right space bracket, enter, string FizzBuzz, go left space phrase buzz, delete fourth, go down, go left, space phrase buzz, go down, state else if, space lparan, delete lparan, near op percent, delete second space percent, space 5, space equal third, space 0, go right space bracket, enter, go up second, phrase return space, option delete, go down second, go down, command right delete, escape go up, find each, sit space, escape go down, sit, tab, command delete tab, command delete tab, phrase return space quote, phrase fizz, option delete, phrase buzz, escape go down, ship air space, delete state else if, option delete, state else if, space, delete second, rparan, space, escape go down second, ship air, lparan, near space, percent space, 3, space, equal third, space 0, go right, space bracket, enter, phrase return, space, quote, delete string fizz, go left, option delete, phrase fizz, escape, bat drum whale sit, phrase fizz. Screwed, I'm typing it at the end. I'm sorry. Yeah, you'll notice there, like as a live demo, I removed some of my. I should not have deleted my config file. There was a few commands there that.
This is what you get for switching machines. It's totally fine. I know you had to mess with your setup a whole bunch to get it working. This is the problem with live streams: is you've got to get the cameras working, you've got to get the secondary microphone working, and so it's totally fine. I appreciate you doing all the work to try and make it work on in this like a strange context.
Yeah, and I'll show some demos at the very end. I'll show you that it is a much smoother experience than what I just demonstrated.
Yeah,
but yeah, you'll notice
you picked an interesting FizzBuzz solution. I really like the one where you just like return a string that just has it pre-solved, you know? It's a joke.
That is a, I didn't know where you're going with that. Yeah, that's one option.
Is there have you seen the Stack Overflow sorting algorithm thing?
Oh, are you talking about the, like, what's that joke? It's
XKCD, like there's like a Stack Overflow program that just goes and finds code on Stack Overflow and just runs an arbitrary sorting algorithm from an example. I wonder if there's a version of that for FizzBuzz. And
I'm sure there is. There definitely is one where, what's that one random? I forget. There's like random sort where it just randomly guesses the correct answer of the sort, and if it's wrong, it keeps going.
That's definitely O of N, right?
Absolutely. So I made a few errors here intentionally, just to show like what it's like now to go fix it. So let me jump back. So one thing is I didn't even return a yield. I should be using yield here. And so let me show you like some quick fixes. So escape, :3, enter, find each second, air, delete second, escape, find space, plex, file save, command find, delete, phrase return, phrase yield, command enter, escape, :6, enter, :6, enter, find each, sit space, escape, find sit, drum whale, urge, vest, find L bracket, escape, :6, enter, find sit, vest, $, go left third, plex, file save. So
this would be really nice if you had a linter running as well. Like I imagine the linter would probably make your life like a million times easier too.
Yeah, you can definitely. With work, I do use a linter. For this, I wanted to show that you can get like very exact with the cursor. But yeah, with the linter on top, it's so smooth.
Yeah.
And so now to actually like run this, I think this should work. I think if you just do console.log, I'm just going to type this just because go for it. For sake of time here. I believe that should just run FizzBuzz from 1 to 100. I think
that is nifty if that works. I didn't know that was a thing you could do. But
yeah, I believe the spread operator works like that. And I could run it with Node. We'll do it in a second. I'll show you
you might need to rename it to a JavaScript file, but probably not. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. We can run it and stuff, but is there anything, so this is actually what it's like to write code with Talon. I didn't want to say
this would be annoying if you did it in a pair programming situation though. Like if you were like, if your interview was like, hey, write me a FizzBuzz, and you're like, cool. But like full disclosure, like
I need to, So the thing is with, you'll notice that there was a few words there that like I couldn't get out. Like fizz and buzz are actually two really hard words for the mic to pick up on.
Or if you needed to like actually use like the word like I don't know, drum, right? Like drum sit is your two words. Like that would be frustrating.
Actually, funny enough, there's a command called phrase. And when I say phrase, drum sit, or whatever, anything after the word phrase is just a literal word that gets typed. So it's not that bad, but in cases like this where like it's like this Z sound, fizz and buzz, these words aren't in the English language to begin with. So I guess buzz is, but
hopefully that's like if you're taking an interview where you have to do something like this, that's what like disability compliance stuff is for, where I feel like that's a reasonable accommodation you could ask for, is like, hey, can I use words that are a little easier on my voice recognition software, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny, FizzBuzz comes up often enough where, again, in my normal config, I will just throw those as English words, and it's normally not a problem. But I just wanted, like, this is more of like out of the box. This is kind of how it feels and looks. This actually, I got rid of this else if. This should be if n mod 3 is equal to 0. But yeah, so it's actually not, in terms of like, I wanted to say this too, in terms of like actually writing statements like this where you have like if this thing, else if this other thing, usually what you can do when it comes to writing code is, again, you can add macros to just say like command if, and or you can say something like JavaScript if, and it will like do the if, the brackets, and then like the closing squigglies for you, and then it will just put your cursor inside the parentheses. And like, so for example, like I had a command that said like, if I said op if, it would do this for me, and then put the cursor there. And so now I'm just, it's way smoother to just say like op if and mod 15, and it would just work. And so, yeah, there's the quality of life things are, kind of on you to add, but again, not that big a deal. Let me see here. So I'll show you too. Like, let me turn on Talon real fast. So if I do control backtick, looks on, enter, cap drum space, delete second, go right, drum space, title desktop, and delete third, delete tab, enter, looks on, enter, made vest, space, phrase demo, tab, phrase demo, period, jury sun, enter, phrase node, space, delete second, drum each, delete third, delete sixth, drum each, space, phrase demo tab, delete fourth, period, jury, tab, enter.
I love that your ls is look son, like you're show me what's in my directory, look son. Like that's really funny.
Yeah, so the S in the alphabet is sun, like sun.
I'm hearing it as son.
Yeah, I realized that as you said that, I was like, oh wait a minute, let me.
But that makes it really funny. Like drum is a good one too, and like
yeah, right. There's
look son, I think, is my favorite one so far.
That's why if you actually go to Emily Shea's website, it's whale quench, like WQ in Vim. If I go to the alphabet here, so that's like a lot of the.
How do you quit Vim? Whale quench. That should be a. If they ever make Talon T-shirts, that should be one of them.
Oh,
is
that is
like a whale drinking something.
I think, yeah, here it is. This is the actual logo for her website. I'm sure there are T-shirts.
Because that's her. That makes total sense. That's her personality handle. Oh, that's so good.
It's so good. Yeah,
I love it.
What you're describing already exists.
That's amazing. I want that sticker.
Yeah, and I know this works. I've done this before. I don't know why. I'll be honest. I'm more of a Rust Python person. I should have just done it in Python. But it's also, let me just do this. I think it got mad at me because I am no longer using this .txt file. So let me open my desktop folder here, just so we have it back open. But we can mess around with this, but I did want to plug this before. I don't know what time you need to log off, Shai, but
I was actually thinking I feel like we're getting kind of to like a nice organic stopping point, and so I think it might be really useful to just plug some resources if folks are interested in continuing, and then we can do our drawing. And so I guess last call for people who want to enter in the drawing, it's bang win to enter, and we can put the thing on screen on how you enter, but last call here for winning swag on Twitch. But yeah, let me see what you got. Are you gonna play Hollow Knight with this?
I didn't play Hollow Knight. I'm going to mute this because it is kind of weird, but this person is playing. Oh wait, no, that's the music. Let me just type in Talon voice video game. People have done some crazy stuff with Talon voice. So this,
I mean, I feel like with the eye tracking, it's not like that would probably also help a lot because you can take care of like the clicks and stuff.
That is actually how most people do it. So I'll actually just plug the eye tracking. I think it's on this person's example here.
Because I know for things like the Hitman games, you can. There's a that was creepy. There's like the you can like look at things and it'll let you throw bananas at people that you're looking at, like with and it'll use that for your like object select and stuff.
Yeah. I there is demos of that actually. people playing it with the Toby. This is, I'll find a video game example in a second,
Yeah,
but this
I
is
feel
somebody.
like Square's Western arm is really good about like implementing that.
Yeah, they have some really good stuff. Like a lot of actually the APIs for these things are really good for video games. But this is actually, you know, again, this is just another driver overdrive.
Yeah.
Like they're overriding the driver for like every operating system and allowing you to use an eye tracker. And you'll notice, like, I mean, if I make this full screen, I do want to get the point across. It's hard to explain. Basically, you make a sound with your mouth, like a clicking sound, like a kind of sound.
Yeah.
And what it does is when you make that sound, it zooms in.
Yeah.
And then when you move your eyes a second time, like you'll notice like your eyes might be moving all the time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't actually like move the mouse. But the second you make that like click sound, then the eye tracker kicks in and it starts moving the mouse for you. And it's a much smoother experience because you know, your eyes, you know, it's not just your mouse moving everywhere. And it intentionally slows down the mouse speed. And so this eye tracker works on anything up to a 27-inch monitor. So if you big screen and you're just trying to like, you know, you really can't touch the mouse because of RSI.
Yeah.
This is like a totally easy drop-in replacement for like, I think $100, which is a lot, but your company should pay for it.
I think your AirPods just dropped as well. So.
Okay. How about now? Can you hear me?
It's just the quality drop. I mean, it's okay. I feel like it's another good. Like I said, it's a good offboarding point. I think it sounds like your AirPods are out of battery.
On there, they're 50. I don't know what happened, but
it's okay.
Not a problem. Yeah, Shai, yeah, thanks for having me on. I think this is, like you said, a good stopping point. And yeah, if anyone has questions, feel free to like hit me up on _Doug Rudolph on Twitter. And yeah, thanks, Shai. Appreciate it.
Cool. No worries. It's been a pleasure having you, Doug. We have some cool stuff coming up next week. Let me double check and make sure that I'm allowed to talk about it yet, because I think it's let me pull up the Contentful change log and double check. But like I said, last call for the giveaway. If you want to enter into the giveaway, do let us do type it in now. You do have to be on the giveaway or on the stream to win. It does not look like I am allowed to talk about what we're doing next week. I don't think we've posted about what we're doing yet. So it's a surprise, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be showing off some new features that are rolling out at Contentful, so do tune in for those. I'm really excited for our guests. We have Bucky from the Contentful engineering team, who's been involved with rolling out this new feature that we're going to be talking about, which should be a lot of fun. As always, the Contentful developer portal is the place to go if you want to learn more about Contentful as well. You know, how to get started, how to get help, stuff like that. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and hit the drawing button. You ready for this, Doug? I'm going to take that as a yes. So here we go. So it looks like huge butt _95 is our winner. So it feels like cheating because she's in the other room with you. But
you hear me? She actually won.
Yeah, that's assuming that's who we think it is. So.
I'll go tell her afterwards. She stepped away from her computer. That's funny.
This is great. I can just put the swag that we're going to send you and the swag that we'll send her in the same package. So.
Oh my god! Awesome. Thanks again, Shai.
No.
Just want to make sure you can hear me. I promise I can code FizzBuzz, and I just want to quickly plug one last time. Interstellar is hiring. If that is something that if you're looking for a job and you're looking for something remote.
You want to pull up the careers page on your screen?
Fast. Let me do it in incognito because I'll auto log in. Should bring me to the marketing page. I think company, maybe jobs here. Yes. Yes, we are looking for a software engineer. The roughly 2 years of experience, but we will always interview anybody if they have interesting projects, and it's not a hard requirement for those 2 years. Yeah, feel free to go to angellist.com/company Interstellar, or just hit me up on Twitter. Gladly would chat about it. Any of this and or Talon.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Doug, so much. I really appreciate you joining us on stream, and I will see you and everyone in the chat next time. Bye, everyone.